Welcome to Dr. David Eifrig's Health and Wealth Bulletin, a publication of Stansberry Research. This is Weekly Update. Our office is going to be closed next Wednesday for the 4th of July. We won't be publishing, but we are making it this week's topic. Now, you probably didn't know, but the 4th is actually the deadliest holiday in our country. So this week, we want to give you a short review of 5 health hazards you might face and what you can do to stay safe. First up is car safety. This should be common sense. If you drink during your festivities, don't get behind the wheel. Don't drive if you're feeling tired or fatigued, and that includes having too much sun exposure, which can bring on heat sickness, which makes you sleepy. What's more, don't be a distracted driver. Put your phone on silent or use an app that blocks any incoming calls or texts while you're driving. The reason for our concern is that each year, the National Safety Council releases the number of expected car accident fatalities for the holiday. And because the 4th is a Wednesday this year, it's a lower number than if it were on the weekend, but it's still higher than other previous midweek years. They're projecting more than 18,000 people will be injured in a car crash this holiday, and that includes 164 deaths. And according to Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, in the years between 1986 and 2002, July 4th has been continuously the day with the most car crash deaths each year, totaling 2,743 deaths. And we're still seeing that pattern today, so we're concerned about what that will look like this year. That's why it's so important to drive sober, alert, and undistracted. If you can't do that, find someone else to drive or take a taxi or car sharing service. Next up, stay safe around water. People flock to pools and beaches looking to cool off and enjoy time together, but it's one of the peak times of the year for drowning. Now, in past years, about 25 children under 15 died from drowning incidents during 4th of July festivities, and that's a number we've seen continuously year after year. So play it safe. Always have a lifeguard and avoid beaches with any warnings about undertows or dangerous currents. Keep children away from the pool unless properly supervised. And just like with driving, don't swim if you've been drinking. More than 40% of drownings that occur involve an intoxicated person. And if you're going out on a boat, be sure to wear life preservers as well. Our third tip is to use caution with fireworks. Each year we see thousands of injuries and a few deaths from folks setting off their own fireworks. In 2016, for instance, more than 11,000 injuries were reported and 4 deaths directly resulted from firework use. If the fatality number seems low, keep in mind we're talking about serious injuries too. Think about eye injuries, severed fingers, hands, and massive third-degree burns. And that doesn't even cover the fires that can be set by improperly disposed of fireworks. Now, I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, but if fireworks are illegal in your state, and in Maryland many of them are, don't buy and set them off. Go to a local fireworks display instead. That way you can enjoy it in relative safety. And if they are legal, just make sure you know exactly what you're doing. Wear protective eye gear, maintain a safe distance after lighting, and keep a bucket of water nearby to douse any possible fires. Now, fireworks, car accidents, and drownings are 3 types of accidents we can prevent on the 4th. But we also want to cover 2 other ways to help keep you safe this holiday. And that means our 4th tip is pest control. Now, you might have seen the news headlines about a teenage boy in Florida who fell ill 2 years ago. It was only now, though, that doctors finally figured out what was wrong. He had something called the Keystone virus, and although he recovered quickly without medical treatment, he escaped the possible complication of encephalitis, and that's a dangerous inflammation of the brain. Now, don't let this scare you just yet. The Keystone virus is just one of many diseases making headlines. You're likely to hear about Zika, West Nile virus, Lyme disease, and more. In fact, we've covered a lot of these in our recent issues of the Health and Wealth Bulletin, so be sure to subscribe below. But a good rule of thumb, particularly if you're thinking about hiking this 4th of July, is to wear long pants and socks, a hat, and make sure that you spray on a bit of bug repellent. Personally, we like to use Repel's lemon and eucalyptus spray, which is a good DEET-free option. But if you do want some DEET, just keep it at a lower level and spray on your clothes instead of direct skin contact. And of course, be sure to perform regular tick checks anytime you or your pets come indoors. We have another link at the bottom in the description that will give you more information about these pests. Finally, we'd be remiss not to mention food safety. Now, we've done previous weekly updates on things like food poisoning and grilling safety, but the 4th of July is a good time to remember both of these things. Cookouts and picnics are extremely popular, so be sure to follow our common sense guidelines. That includes not leaving food out for more than an hour, wash everything thoroughly, keep your prep materials for raw meat separate from your prep materials for everything else, be sure to cook low and slow, and trim the fat off of any meat that you throw on the grill. That's it for today. We hope you have a wonderful holiday and use these 5 tips to stay safe while celebrating. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. And one more thing. For all of my coworkers out there who've been asking about any alien threats to our health this Independence Day, we can't really comment on it here. That's a question for Captain Stephen Hiller instead. And remember, we will not go quietly into the night. But really, fireworks are very loud, and you should always have some ear protection. Happy 4th!